Madyson Marquette has to be the biggest fucking piece of shit that exists. I don't know what else to say. Tonight was supposed to be a Patreon video. I didn't put it behind Patreon because I think everybody needs to see this. If you have a chance, please share it. Please tweet about it. I didn't put, you know, anything crazy in the beginning or whatever. I didn't get off sidetracked. I didn't do anything. This woman claims to be protecting kids. She's using that money to benefit herself. She bought her house. She pays her bills. She raises her kids. She doesn't fucking work a job. Instead, she grifts off a GoFundMe that's dedicated to helping victims of child sex trafficking. And then on top of that, she married a fucking pedophile, and she's weaponized her audience against the Department of Corrections that are attempting to punish this evil motherfucker. No, motherfucker, I'll judge you. You married a pedophile, a fucking pedophile, while you're fucking over here raising money, claiming you're taking care of kids. Come at me. Fucking sue me. We'll go and talk all about your money and where it's going to these fucking needy kids that you've kicking down doors and rescuing, right? Kids that you admit to trafficking in your fundraiser. The kids that don't fucking exist. You married a convicted pedophile and then try to get your audience to make the jail, the prison he's in, treat him better? Are you out of your fucking mind? How many of those people that are donating to you know that they're also petitioning a prison warden and all the staffs in the state of Tennessee to get special benefits for the pedophile that you fucking married? Look out. A professional comedian in the chat. What a fucking retard.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn.
Think about renaming it something to do with Kenya. Like, can you get up off this dick?
Never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves. We won't let the world burn away. Burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack. Kill it anyway.
This is no, this is not by Derek Johnson. This is by Derek's Johnson. Live on all the platforms. So you watch wherever you watch. I'd rather you watch on Twitch, but you can watch wherever. Someone just came in here and called me a libtard, but was too afraid to spell it out. So they used all the symbols on the keyboard, I think. They took our jobs. That's right. That's the timer. That's the music. Let's pause that and we'll roll that intro. Talking about Madyson Marquette. If you haven't been around for a while on my show, you probably haven't heard me talking about Madyson Marquette. But we pretty substantially destroyed her. So much so that the Madyson Marquette exposed groups used 2 of my videos as like staple videos for like introduction into who this scammer is. So this will be new for some of you. Some of you guys remember who she was, but either way, we're getting into it.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
I think that's her natural hair. And yes, the carpet matches the drapes. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for coming out. We got a question to answer tonight. And I'm going to leave this question up to you for most of the night. Wrong thing. For most of the night, and then we're going to talk about it. We're going to be moving through and deciding what's going on here. Let me move down the chat backer. Is this person the same person? I made a post about this. So if you see the one above my head, I'll actually move my camera for a second. If you see the one above my head, it's obviously a younger one. I think that was from 2009 or I can't remember. That's a younger one, obviously, right? This one, the one beside the younger one has a lot of face tune. You can't even make out his hair, his individual hairs in his eyebrows or in his beard, right? It's just smeared together. Then we end up with this one. This is probably the most current one with no text on it and not the young one. This is probably the most current one. And then these two on the far left are probably the most similar. There's still a face tune, like a selfie tune on this one, but it's probably the most similar. Are these people the same people? And I'll provide some evidence to prove that they are, and we'll go from there. So thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. Let me throw my camera back up and the chat. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you want to contribute to the show, if you want to support the show, try like, share, all that stuff. The second one and the fourth one are mugshots. The second one and the fourth one are mugshots. That's why they're not very well done, right? But if you want to support the show, consider like, share, whatever. You can also contribute to the show if that's your thing by going to coldbeer.fund, coldbeer.fund. You'll hear me say that a couple times tonight, where you can use the links there to make a donation. The links on the left-hand side: buy me a coffee, join our Patreon for extra content, gun/bomber, and Dono Clip. Dono Clip lets you leave an audio or video message. Those are all donation links, including this very bottom one that just says donate. It's like a secret private donation link to where it doesn't pop up on the screen and say your name. I actually I'll know that, but most people won't. So what do you mean you can't see the fourth one? You couldn't see the fourth one when I had chat down? Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, to contribute to the show, all my links are there as well if you want to follow me somewhere else. We're not typically on live on YouTube all the time. We are on Twitch, and then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're on Kick. But all those links are there: Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Facebook, TikTok, Rumble, Discord, and Bovada. Bovada is an affiliate link. So there you go. If that's something you're interested in following or making a contribution, you're more than welcome. Yeah, when I pull down the chat, you should be able to. I would hope so. The fourth one is the young mugshot in the blue. Oh, yeah, you might be zoomed in, maybe. Anyways, all four pictures are the same person. I personally think, and we're going to talk about why this is important, who this person is, where these images came from, and how I got a hold of them. So let me throw the chat back up one more time so I can see what you guys are saying, and then we'll get into this. Again, this all revolves around Madyson Marquette. If you don't know who Madyson Marquette is, I covered her before. It was mostly because we caught her in this really weird lie where she said she was a lawyer, and she said she didn't finish law school. She just went, and then she took the bar exam, which you're allowed to do in some states. Some states you don't have to go to law school at all. You can just take the bar exam. There's other states that have a way to just basically like do on-the-job training with a lawyer. You can just apprentice with a lawyer and take the bar exam. You have to have so many hours of like apprenticing with them. You still have to pass. Those are few, though. Most states require you to have JD. But she said she became a lawyer in Washington State. So we looked it up. She wasn't a lawyer in Washington State. We actually were able to call her out on a pretty big show. Nino mentioned it. David Nino mentioned it when he was interviewing her. She flips out and claims that she never said Washington State. She said Washington, D.C. So we did another show. Where we proved that she wasn't a lawyer in Washington, D.C. either. But she's got this really horrible grift. So what she claims is she was a porn star. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. She was a porn star. She did that by choice, even though she claims she was somehow forced into it. All of her family will testify, including her ex-husband. She chose to do it for the money. She went into porn. Her porn still exists. It's still out there. After she gets out of porn, she says she was forced into it and trafficked and whatever. She also said she was made into a prostitute. There's literally no evidence of that, but she claims it. She ended up going to jail. She may even still have outstanding warrants right now. But anyways, after she gets out of that, when this whole QAnon super patriot movement, Save the Children comes up, she claims that she has been trained. She's not even allowed legally own a firearm, but she basically claims that she's been trained with special forces and she partners with Navy SEALs, is what she originally said. Then she said an elite team of retired special forces to go in and rescue children. And she's got all these crazy stories about how they were going to rescue one kid, but Joe Biden called the FBI that was with them and said, don't do it. Then she has another one where like the local police told her she wasn't allowed to do it, and the state police told her she wasn't allowed to do it, but she did it anyways, which is called kidnapping. And she claims she literally kicks down doors and rescues kids. Now, she's had no formal training. She's usually not even the state she claims she's in. She's kind of running from judgments and bankruptcies and those types of things, bill collectors, ex-husbands. She always seems to be on the run and hiding, at least from what I can find. And she doesn't do any of this, but she uses that to grift. So if she can't make enough money off "we're rescuing kids, donate," then she says that she keeps the kids. Okay, she keeps the kids. She takes those kids to somewhere and she houses them. Now, why would she keep the kids? If they're kidnapped, trafficked kids, why wouldn't they go back to their parents? Well, she doesn't trust the Department of Child Services or any other group, so she can't give the kids back. Instead, she has to keep the kids, and by keeping the kids, she has to house them and feed them, and has raised over $100,000 on Give, Send, Go. People think they're paying to house sex trafficked kids that have been rescued, and she literally has nothing to do with that. Not a single fucking thing. Nothing. I guess she's just pocketing the money because she's not spending on kids. That's for sure. To get you guys caught up to speed on who she is, this is not my video. I don't take credit for it. This is actually somewhere else that made a website called MadysonMarquette.net. Her website is MadysonMarquette.com, but we're going to go to MadysonMarquette.net and check out the video there, which you're just about to see. Hold on. This is not my work. Again, this is not mine. I did not do this. I didn't put this out there. Someone else did. But this kind of gives all the way from start to almost current. And it's just a few minutes. So here we go. The incredible work of Madyson Marquette.
I was looking into a matter and I came across Madyson Marquette, or Stacey Dawn Williams. And the more I dug, the more I found. I ended up finding patterns that led me to want to dig more, want to uncover the truth, want to share that truth with all of the people that she's convinced to give their money to. Madyson Marquette is a criminal. She changed her name when she was in California because she was having legal issues.
She was born Stacey Dawn Williams. She is currently under the name Madyson, Madyson, same first name, Hendricks, Hendricks, Hendricks. But in between, she was Madyson Marquette, which is her stage name now. That was her porn name. That's her current grifting name. She doesn't put out Madyson Hendricks. And somehow, well, I guess not somehow, in the state of Colorado, basically, if you just claim that you're a victim of abuse or sexual abuse, you don't really have to show any proof. In the state of Colorado, you can apply to have this generic mailing address that comes to Denver. So basically, anybody that's ever been, it's a good thing, don't get me wrong. If you've been stalked or have a crazy ex-husband looking for you, or you were trafficked or abused, or you testified against somebody in court, in the state of Colorado, you can apply to basically have your address look like it's in Denver, Colorado. And they have a sorting room where your mail comes in. They keep your address secret and actually forward your mail to you, or a way for you to pick it up. So you'll see this one address, which we found a while back, is like the address for like thousands and thousands of people, right? Because they're using that to hide their real address in case their stalker or the whoever they're the victim to comes back again. And she uses that even though she has no right to and no reason to. She uses that just to hide her identity.
To include a hit and run in California with injuries. She was cited.
So one of her first warrants is a hit and run in California with injuries. She didn't stop and render aid. She didn't stop and wait for the police to just hit and run, take off. Now, her actual sister is a prosecutor in California. And a few people, including myself, have spoken to her sister. Not voice to voice or on a phone call, but I've messaged and talked to her sister, and I've gotten replies back. You guys remember the creepy family in California? That were keeping those kids. I think there was like 7 kids or something, and one of the girls get out. Was it the Turpins? Is that who it was? The Turpin case. It was. They had like a bunch of different kids, and they were keeping them in like these horrible conditions. Yes, David Allen Turpin and Louise Ann Turpin. Her sister, who she claims, Madyson claims her sister's part of the deep state. She's horrible. She's part of the cabal. Don't trust her. Nothing she says about me, you can't believe it. Her sister was actually one of the prosecutors on that case. So Madyson Marquette lives in this fantasy world where she claims she's combating child abuse, child trafficking, child sexual abuse, all of that. And her sister's a piece of shit. And the actual reality couldn't be further the opposite. Her sister was a prosecutor on that case. Her sister works to take care of kids and make sure they're not in these environments and prosecute the cases. And Madyson's actually the porn star crackhead grifter. It's just wild to me that it's completely 180 what she's saying and what's the truth is.
For failure to stop, failure to render aid, etc. January 2008, she was charged with burglary, second degree, and grand theft in Orange County, California. On June 6, 2000.
Now, this burglary and grand theft, what she claims is the one time she's addressed this burglary and grand theft, she claims that her and her husband at the time were talking about being separated. Okay? This is her claim. They were talking about ending their marriage, but they were cordial. And they still had a joint, well, she calls it a joint bank account, but clearly it was in his name. And she still drove his vehicle. So one day, even though they were completely cordial, nothing was wrong, nothing was going on, she went out and wrote a check for something, and it bounced. But it didn't bounce for a little bit, and she was driving around in his car. He called and reported the car stolen and that she was fraudulently using his checks. Now, that's her story. That doesn't seem to be the truth, but that's her story.
2008, burglary, second degree. In addition to that, she had some run-ins with the law with regard to a grand theft charge.
On or about March 15, 2007, March 15, 2007, in violation of sections 459, 460B of the Penal Code, second degree commercial burglary, a felony, Madyson Ray Marquette did unlawfully enter Eagle Community Credit Union, a commercial building, with the intent to commit larceny. She went into a bank and she was trying to commit larceny. She did unlawfully take money in the personal property of Eagle Community Credit Union, which had a value exceeding $400.
The grand theft charge was related to her going into a credit union and defrauding them out of a significant amount of money. So she changed her name from Stacy Dawn Williams, as she was born, to Madyson Ray Marquette. Then she went into the...
I'm pretty sure she convinced them she had access to a different account, whether it was her husband's or someone else's, and pulled the money out and then gave them a false name as well. That's how she defrauded them out of that money.
The porn industry.
She did steal her sister's identity at one point. Or she stole her sister's identity about fighting kids, but she defrauded her sister as well.
She claims that she was sex trafficked, pulled into the porn industry against her will, and that she is a victim of that.
Now, she's not just in porn scenes that are just like hardcore clips. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's in porn scenes where she's like talking about what she enjoys, what she doesn't enjoy, the men, the style, the size, being tied up, being whipped, being beaten, but some bondage stuff. Like, for research purposes, I saw quite a bit of this.
She moves from California to Colorado. She gets married to a gentleman and changes her name again to Madison Ray Hendricks. So now she's going to try to do other things. On 7/22/2000.
So the claim that she has, the only validity of the claim that she has that she was basically trafficked. So her backstory is that this porn guy was keeping her trafficked and was trafficking her to churches, to like these mega churches, basically. That's one of her claims. Now, she claims she was locked in a room, she wasn't fed, she was beaten, she was whatever. Now, the only validity she has to that is this guy that she's always claimed trafficked her actually was arrested a couple years ago, but not for what you think. The guy got in trouble for other escorts he had that were consensual escorts. They do not claim that they were trafficked, that they were beaten, that they were locked up. The escorts actually sued him for not paying them their full rate. So they went after him because he was getting a certain rate from the gentleman and lying about what that rate was and not giving them the full amount of money. So they went after him legally for prostitution, right? But they actually went after him financially for not getting paid. Now, the women don't claim that they were forced. They don't claim that they were trafficked. These were like high-end escorts, if you know what I mean. They weren't like, you know, like a needle in their arm. These were like escorts that went out with like famous people or people who had a lot of money. And their issue with him was that he was taking a large percentage of the money. And that's what got the guy in trouble. None of them claimed they were locked in their room. None of them claimed they weren't fed. None of them claimed they were beaten or chained to the wall. They claimed that he was helping them find guys, Johns, and he was stealing money from them.
2016, Madyson is charged with criminal mischief. August 8, 2016, evicted from her
Another eviction.
apartment in Douglas County.
This will be something that happens very, very often. And I'm pretty sure she claims, I know she has kids. I'm not in the business of finding out about her kids. I don't think she should have kids, but she claims she has 5 fucking kids.
County, Colorado. January of 2017, she's evicted from her apartment in Littleton, Colorado.
Very next year. So basically, she gets evicted. She signs exactly a 1-year lease and gets evicted within that year.
May the 5th, 2017, charged with
She doesn't pay rent, basically. They're always, all these evictions say failure to abide by terms, and when you see what the terms is, it's paying rent. She's not paying, and she makes them literally evict. Like, it's one thing if you can't afford your apartment, you know, and someone comes to you and he's like, hey, you got to move, and you have to put your fucking hat in your hand and say, you know, I fucked up, I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to live. It's another thing to force the guy through eviction court multiple times or multiple people.
attempting to influence a public figure. She gets a job in Colorado, and she gets arrested while she's at the job.
In attempting to influence a public servant. Now, she cannot lie about this. By the way, she has this whole backstory where she claims where she went to jail. This is where she went to jail. When she went to jail, she heard some Christian song she hadn't heard since she was a kid, and she knew God was with her, and that's when she got saved, and there was some witchcraft lady there that told her she was going to be saved today. But she claims while she was in jail that the jailers were taking turns taking her to the rooftop of the jail and graping her, just because she has to add her trauma to every story she has. There's no proof of this. There's no evidence. It's only her word, the same as she calls out all these mega church pastors and says they all traffic children. She has a post right now that shows like TD Jakes or something, and it said every minute that these people are, it's like a picture of his church during worship. Every minute that these people are pretending to worship, there's tens of thousands of kids underneath the church being raped and molested, and like just the craziest claims.
Hi, Madyson. Give me those kind of shirts. I just feel warm.
The cop's trying to be really nice here. Okay, he's even whispering like, "Hey, Madyson, I'm with the sheriff's department. He's not even trying to have her lose her job or people talk about her or record it. He's whispering to her.
Okay.
You're on drug test right now. You're going to be going with me down the drug screen just as soon.
There she is, clearly. He doesn't put cuffs on her, brings her out, and then lets her cuff her in the front. Like, you can't get nicer than this, Madyson.
She can't keep a job because she has these problems with authority. She continues to get into trouble.
Insufficient funds check, second-degree burglary, hit and run, injury or death, theft of property, insufficient funds check, insufficient showings check, second-degree burglary. Over and over again, she's just turning into like a fucking criminal.
She continues to get into criminal activities. 1/17/2009.
And every time, look, she ends up. Let me move the chat. Every time she's this repeat offender that will not stop. And every time, what does she get? Probation. Probation, 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 probation. Every one of them's probation. But she finally catches her break when this new super patriot movement comes out.
19, Madyson is charged again with attempting to influence a public servant. 5/29/19 has a judgment go down from the Colorado Department of Revenue where she did not pay her Colorado income tax.
May 2019, tax evasion.
February 2020, Madyson is evicted from her Centennial, Colorado apartment.
Evicted
While she
again.
was in Colorado, she and got into a marital dispute.
That's he bleeped it out. That's her husband, where she got the Hendricks name from, right? Stephen Hendricks is her husband, and he's spoke to some people, I think, off the record, but he's not on the record for anything.
Which ended the marriage, ends up going back to his ex-wife.
So Stephen Hendricks ends up leaving his wife. And imagine how bad Madyson has to be if you think you leave your wife because she's so bad for something better. You get the something better, and that drives you back to your ex-wife. So Stephen Hendricks leaves his wife, marries Madyson Marquette, figures out how crazy she is, goes back to his ex-wife. Madyson Marquette can't leave that alone and starts making threats, starts calling, starts driving around, starts messing with the kids.
Madyson attacks and his wife on.
We can read these. Also, to prevent stalking as identified under the criminal code, these are all available. Not just in the video, I've got them. At this point, Your Honor, the evidence has shown that there was a threat against Miss Blank by Madyson Hendricks. That is evidence in the text messages sent by Madyson to Mr. Blank on May 6th. And the information also shows there is replete circumstantial evidence that Miss Madyson Hendricks has been repeatedly communicating on a very broad basis on the internet about Miss Blank, and that the information that she's posted on there would cause a reasonable person to have serious emotional distress and has caused Miss Blank to have serious emotional distress. She also posts about the kids, like some really fucked up stuff.
Social media and other online services to the point that they sue her civilly and end up with a $500,000 judgment against her.
Obviously, the court knows that to show stalking, there has to be repeated incident. And we have incidents of the posting of the Match.com, the Mixer, the Plenty of Fish, and then the multiple posts online. She was making dating profiles for them and then posting them as if she just stumbled upon them.
So what does she do? She goes and files bankruptcy
So they get a judgment against her. Sorry, I was talking over it.
Against her. So what does she do? The point on social media and other online services to the point that they sue her civilly and end up with a $500,000 judgment against her. So what does she do? She goes and files bankruptcy so that judgment cannot be collected. She never finishes the bankruptcy.
So she goes and basically files an intent to file bankruptcy, right? It's the first thing you put out before you do bankruptcy, saying that you're going to file bankruptcy. It lets your creditors have a little heads up and know what she files that and then doesn't file the rest of it. But she thinks that's enough to get her out of this judgment. It's not. I don't even know if the bankruptcy would have saved her from this judgment. maybe that's what she found out after she tried. I don't know.
She just files the bankruptcy to get a bankruptcy number to satisfy the court so that they won't garnish any wages or get any assets that she has. Then she finally leaves Colorado and goes to Texas, where she's currently hiding. There are many online posts of her carrying a firearm.
She is not allowed to carry a firearm. And if you just scroll through the thumbnail, she's not allowed to own a firearm. And if you just scroll through the thumbnails of her video, there's a pistol. It's behind the chat. There's a pistol. That's not behind the chat. Like she is this. She wants people to think she's big, bad, pistol-toting mama. I guess. I don't know. But she's not even allowed to own a firearm. And here she does live streams with firearm. There's one. Firearms in the background. Just to prove that she has one. There's one. Firearm in the background. There's one firearm in the background. I don't know why they haven't. When you see how much money she's raised lying to these people, I don't know why someone hasn't done something yet.
There are many videos of her where there's a firearm present.
Uh-oh, it froze. I have to back it up, or it might be where I paused it so much.
Of her carrying a firearm. There are many videos of her where there's a firearm present.
Let me refresh it. Hold on. We'll jump back to the same spot. There was 2 minutes left in the video. Oh, shit. That's when it started playing? Of course.
And goes to of her carrying a firearm. There are many videos of her where there's a firearm present and prominently displayed in the video that she will make.
There she is carrying one. The post says, 2A always attached to my hip. Colorado, you were amazing. Got some work done, had some fun, and now I'm glad I'm gone. Love my family and friends there. Madyson Marquette, her news. That's her TikTok, her news.
Reference to Madyson cannot have a firearm. She's a felon. She's
There's multiple
felon in
firearms.
possession, which is against the United States Code as well as state laws. Madyson currently has open warrants for her arrest in California for charges to include second-degree burglary, 3 insufficient check charges.
By the way, she will claim on these shows they've been brought up, or she's brought them up, like the trolls claim that I've got a criminal record. That's all been taken care of. It has not. She has open warrants in California. She's a convicted felon bragging about her firearm. She ought to be arrested just for saying she's 135 pounds.
Hit and run involving injury or death and theft of property.
You see this right here? $137,055. This was a year ago.
She raised $24,000 for Louisiana victims from a...
So this is an interesting story. If you guys ever watch the British Griftbuster people or Intel lady, she does a character about the Great British Bird. There's this woman called the British Bird, and she's one of these Navy SEALs with me, and I kick down the doors to the tunnels and blah, blah, blah. She's a grifter, okay? Her and Madyson were teamed up for a while, and they split up. At first, no one was really talking about why they split up. They actually had a show they did together, okay? No one was talking about why they split up. It then came out from a moderator, and later the Great British Bird acknowledged all this. When a hurricane hit the U.S., they raised $24,000 together on their shows independently and on the show they did together weekly. They raised $24,825 for the victims. Okay? Less than $4,000, $3,000 and some dollars of supplies is what made it there. $24,000, and she showed up with half a minivan full of paper towels and cleaning products. Over $20,000 she stole from this GoFundMe. And this isn't her only GoFundMe scam or GiveSendGo or whatever you want to call it. This isn't her only one. She raised money for a dead guy one time. But this was enough to even make another grifter say, hey, that's too much. That's too much. You did this. The victims that were picked to be the recipients of, they were meeting Madyson to get the stuff so they could give it out to their community. The victims called attention to it and said, hey, we raised almost $25,000 and it looks like we got a few $1,000s worth of things. They questioned her about it. She told them that everything was expensive and there was fees and taxes to be paid. She made off with $20,000 for victims of a hurricane. Nothing's been done to her.
Hurricane. Only $3,000 of that was $4,000 for Louisiana victims from a hurricane. Only $3,000 of that was reportedly given to the cause. She kept $21,000 of it. The campaign states that all receipts would be posted, but none of those have been.
The campaign and the podcasters, her and the Great British Bird, claimed that they would repost every receipt if people donated. They didn't post a single fucking receipt, obviously, because she can't show this, right? She can't show $21,000 goes missing. They didn't post a single receipt. She had a picture of her showing up, and it was literally like paper towels, and those cleaning wipes that are like in a tub that you like pull out. She had some of those. She had some laundry detergent. Honestly, it looked like less than $3,000 worth. It looked like about $1,000 worth of shit, but they claim it was $3,000, so I'll take their word for it. But still, $21,000 she grifted off those people.
She raised $27,000 for a man who was killed in 2020.
Did you just hear that? She raised $27,000 for someone who was killed in 2020.
None of those have been. She raised $27,000 for a man who was killed in 2020. Fraud complaints were made about the campaign. She frequently asks people to spend money for the.
She was asking for help and medical expenses and living expenses for a guy who was already fucking dead. Already dead, and she's asking for medical expenses, help with rent, payment for a guy that's already dead.
These causes, all of which are fraud. She cannot provide any evidence to support the vast majority of her claims. Currently, her Give, Send, Go account shows that $176,000 has been contributed to
176. Now, this is old. This video is like a year old. And at this time, and she still posts it every day, either her or her mod, they've taken the total off to where you can't see the total anymore. But it's still going. Here's a donation from an hour ago. Well, let me refresh it, actually. 5 hours ago, 12 hours ago, a day ago, a day ago, a day ago, a day ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago. There's still money constantly coming in. This video's a year old, and she had $176,000. What does it say? We are raising funds. The name of the fund is Human Trafficking, the Real Epidemic. It used to be called Stop Human Trafficking. Then it says, we are raising funds so we can start building more housing for victims of human trafficking. She doesn't know any victims of human trafficking because her whole story about rescuing people isn't true. Right now, there are no safe havens for them to go to. Also not true. We do not work with Child Protective Services because 89% of children who are being trafficked come out as CPS. Also, just a made-up statistic, right? She just made this up. 90% of children that are in Child Protective Services are the trafficked children. The fuck out of here. The housing we do have is currently full. We need to be able to purchase homes. She's raising enough to purchase homes. Pay for the trauma therapist. Pay for medical, food, hygiene products, clothes, shoes, bedding, beds, and so much more. We need to be able to keep staff paid and taken care of us well. It means it's supposed to say as well. She doesn't have staff. She doesn't have this service. She doesn't have anybody in houses. She's just taking this fucking money. The reason she doesn't work with CPS is because it's not a legitimate fucking charity. Or fundraising, I guess. It's not a charity. We are not a nonprofit, so we can ensure that our children do not get sold back into CPS. We are not a nonprofit. so we can ensure that our children do not get sold back into CPS. She's not a nonprofit because this is all profit, every bit of it. She would have to have accounting records if she was a nonprofit, or sold back into the sex slave industry. We strive to place the children stolen back with their parents who they were stolen from in the first place. If we cannot find their family or they were born into sex slave industry, we find loving adoptive homes for them to go. She can't do this. You can't go pick up a kid that you think's in danger, real or false danger, and adopt it to another family. This statement right here is called kidnapping and trafficking. You can't, as an individual, as a citizen, you cannot go take somebody's kid and adopt it to another family. You cannot do that. She cannot do that. She doesn't work with any services. She's not a nonprofit. Nonprofits couldn't do this anyways. She claims, of course, she can never find the families. So she raises them until she can adopt them to other families. What adoption? How is this family going to explain that they just ended up with an extra kid? If we cannot find their family, they're born in the sex slave industry, we find loving adoptive homes for them to go. This is illegal. This is child trafficking. The same way that people get mad at fucking Tim Ballet because the orphanage he was sponsoring down in Haiti was basically selling kids to Mormons, allegedly. That is child trafficking. She is claiming that she traffics children. She has no right, no authority, no legal basis for this. That's child trafficking. She is taking kids for whatever reason, good or bad, taking them and giving them to a different people. That's child trafficking. This is what she's doing. Then she says, we have not raised money for this cause until now. We see other people raising millions for other causes, but we cannot even raise $50K to go towards taking care of children who have had their innocence stolen. We are praying and hoping our fundraising efforts do not get shut down by the globalists and the elites. Everybody that watches this show, if you don't like it, you don't want to hear it, you don't like me, I don't care. Everybody should go report this Give, Send, Go. Everybody. I'm posting it on Restream. I'm fixing to post it on Facebook. Give me just a second. Everybody should go report this Give, Send, Go. I think you actually have to send an email. There's not like a report button. Let's see. Need help? Understanding payouts. I don't think there's a report button like there is on a GoFundMe. There's a follow, read less. You probably have to send them an email. I just reported her again today to the FBI before I started this video. After the new information I found out, I reported her again to the FBI and the FTC for fraudulent fundraising activities. So I don't know if that'll help. I mean, I've done it before. I just keep fucking doing it and keep fucking doing it and keep fucking doing it. Hopefully one day somebody will do their fucking job. I don't know. But I guarantee you it's over 200,000 now. Again, this video is probably a year old. Thank God this guy made this video because it got more traction than I did. So it was at 176,000, and we can't see amounts, but we can see donations coming in every day. Every day, her mods or her post this Give, Send, Go over and over and over and over and over. It was 176,000 in the video. It's 176,694 about a year ago. So this is horrible. She's basically saying, I'm trafficking children and I need money to do it. Report, report, report. This is horrible. And the people that are donating are not horrible. She's got them convinced that this is the only option to save these kids. She has to do it. Crazy.
sex trafficking victims. She has never given information or proof of where this money is going. This money is going simply to fund her lifestyle. I understand people wanting to get in.
She's basically living off that money, right? Whatever money comes in, she's living off of it and claiming that it's going to the most vulnerable of all people, children. That's fucking insane. She is what she claims to be taken down. She is what the Q-tards claim that they're trying to stop, trying to get rid of. She is that person because either one, she's lying and stealing all the money to live, or two, even if she was telling the truth, she's trafficking children. What are her steps to validate, one, that a child even needs to be removed from somewhere, and two, that the place you're putting them in is not even worse, right? There's no way to hold you to this, right? There's no checks, there's no balances, there's no ramifications. If she's not telling the truth, but if she was, it's even worse. She's lying and stealing the money. That's one thing. If she was telling the truth, that's worse. She's trafficking children.
Involved with things to help and to do good, and we all want that. But please, if you're giving this lady money, rest assured that your money is absolutely not going to the cause that she is touting. It's not happening. If you're giving her money, you're getting defrauded.
MadysonMarquette.net is the name of this website, and this guy did a really good job putting the video together. If you've given money towards any fundraising initiative promoted by Madyson Marquette and you believe you may have been defrauded, please visit MadysonMarquette.net, which is the website he's on. Now, this guy put this video together, and it got more traction than, I usually do or whatever. A lot of people shared it. But not only did he put the video together, he's got all the documents, right? Give it a second for it to load. It takes a second. So he's got all the different county returns, the courts, LA County, Orange County, Douglas, Arapahoe, whatever. The photos, more photos, Red Iron Road incident, U.S. bankruptcy court. Here's all the, let's just start opening them. We got to get into our new stuff, but it's worth checking out the old stuff, I think. Hendricks, Madison Ray, white male, 36, 5'08", height, 135 pounds. That's the real travesty here, 135 pounds. Got her tattoos, her mug shots, everything. That's her booking photos. Another booking photo in Denver. Criminal convictions. 2009 California second-degree burglary. 2009 California insufficient funds check. 2009 California insufficient funds check. 2009 California insufficient funds check. 2009 California second-degree burglary. 2005 California hit and run, injury or death. 2004 California theft of property. And then 2004 California NVOL. It's driving without a license, right? Misdemeanor conviction, driving without a license, common abbreviation, no valid operator license. Is that what it is? Driving without a license, I believe. Hold on. We'll find out. I'm pretty sure when I covered this before, I had to look it up, and it was driving without a license. First degree criminal misdemeanor, both stay on your record and your driver's license record forever. No valid operator's license. Yes. So these are her charges. List of her convictions. 5 felony convictions and 2 misdemeanors. This bitch is fucking recording videos with the guns in the background. If I was a convicted felon and showed a gun on social media, they'd be kicking down my door. This is her bankruptcy court. Again, she never completed the filing. There's a README in here. See if we can open that up. Okay, it doesn't work. It was just uploaded. All right, here we go. 222 PDF. Madyson Ray Hendricks, case number Chapter 13, the undersigned has advised debtor regarding the following pending matter: notice of deficiency of admission, docket number 8. This is her attempting to file bankruptcy, but she never completes it. These documents aren't super interesting, but here they are. Madison Ray Hendricks, Denver, Colorado, her attorney, a Chapter 13 trustee, email, I, Joseph, declare under penalty of perjury I have seen the attached document above listed entities and manner shown and prepared a certificate of notice that is true and correct, meeting the creditor notice, official form 309 pursuant to Fed R Bank. This is, again, just a creditor's notice for the bankruptcy. None of these are super fucking interesting, other than the only reason she did it was to get that judgment off of her. And then as soon as she had a number, she stopped. Like, she didn't complete it. She didn't go to federal court. She didn't do the thing. She didn't go in front of the judge, have it discharged, have it whatever. It's just done, right? Meeting a creditor's notice, payroll notice. Her earnings for the year, $40,000. She's probably earning a lot more than that. Her net pay was $32,000. She's probably earning a lot more than that now. Let me go back. All right, here we go. Red Iron Road incident. Incident detail report. Incident type was 2, priority non-emergency. Taken by Custodinda Suzanne, CNV2, no action taken. Incident status is closed. Problem disturbed the neighborhood. Agency is BCLE. Jurisdiction is Converse PD. In Bexar County. 10162 Red Iron Creek Road, I guess, Converse, Texas. Person 1 is Madyson Marquette, a female, white, Caucasian. Person 2 is Hendricks, Madison Hendricks, the same fucking person. Race, white. Date of birth. Caller name, Tracy Brown, 10-digit admin, number unknown from that number. And it says, phone pickup is here. First keystroke here, received in queue. In line waiting, call taking complete. Custodinda Suzanne. First unit assigned, call received to first assigned to first en route, first arrived. Incident duration. This is for a 911 call. En route, name, Mata Iris and Eric Smith. No cautions found, no pre-scheduled, no transports, no nothing. Comp states that she has contractors working at the LOC for a fence, at the location for a fence, and neighbor is causing issues. She's making verbal threats to the worker. The neighbor lives at 7603 Bismarck Lake. The female subject is white, Madyson Marquette, unknown of correct spelling of name. She has come out and made threats today. Officer can ring the doorbell or go through the opening in the fence. No to officer safety questions for the comp. Contact made with complainant and tenant, that's comp, as well as property owner. Misunderstanding between everyone, everything secure. So this is when her neighbor was building a fence and she come out and threatened to kill everybody. She threatened to kill everybody for building a fence. Incident priority change, non-emergency, waiting, pending, and that's about it. I think that she just claims it's a misunderstanding. She didn't know what was going on and got away with another one, even though she was threatening to kill everybody. That's all in that. The information you requested contains information related to motor vehicle, whatever, the VIN number, motor vehicle information. So that's one of her more recent things she's done. Is that's where she lives at now, and it's a nice. Actually, let's get the address and I'll show it to you. It is at. She lives next door, but the caller is at 10162 Red Iron Creek. You want to see where her money goes? 10162. Bexar County, but it's in, what was it, Converse, Texas? There we go. So this is the fence that apparently was being built up, and she lives in one of the adjacent houses. I'm assuming this one down here, because that's the one where the fence would come all the way over to, right? There's 2 different fences here. I'm assuming this one here. She got 5 kids. There's a play set in the backyard. Now, because I showed this, she's going to claim I'm trying to have her killed and trying to have her followers attack me. But she's not hurting for anything, right? She's not fucking hurting in anything. That's what I just said. She's in Texas. This is Converse, Texas. All right, let's go back to the files. Check out some of the other files. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, actually. Do that. Click off this. Then we go back. That was the Red Iron Road incident. Photo 6/13/22. Let's see what the photos are. Bismarck Lake. There's her house. It says no trespassing. Violators will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. That was the road I was just on, by the way, was Bismarck Lake. So that was her house, I guess, right? Ammo. Oh, God. So this is the house she bought with your money to save the kids. And unless she's got, you know, thousands of families in her garage, she's not helping anybody with the money, okay? She's using it on herself. I don't think those came through. Yeah, that's all of them. So that's the house she lives in now with the money she's raised. I thought about just showing up at her fucking house one day. Here's more photos. These are going to be her with the guns, I'm sure. James Hengwin representing Illinois. Douglas Weissel representing California. This is Madyson Marquette was live. There's a gun in the background. This is First Amendment. Congress don't make no law. This is her pool, or a pool she was at. That's where she also slipped and hurt her ankle when she was on with Bishop Big Dick or whatever his name was. Buck Biden, Madyson Marquette in the background. Visiting tourist attractions. I'm not giving up. I still have a couple of motherfuckers to prove wrong. When your friends know you so well, they give you a going away present that says, AMO is expensive. Do not expect a warning shot. No slow flex in my household. Real women shoot. Proud gun-toting patriot 1776. Again, I have guns. I love guns. I love to shoot guns. I make Mariah go shoot guns with me. Even though she was scared. She's more comfortable now, but she was scared when we first start. But she's a convicted felon. She's a convicted felon. She can't have a gun. And the fact that she just brags about it blatantly on social media is just wild to me. This is her book she wrote. It's called My Father's Daughter, Memoir of a Porn Star. And it basically doesn't claim that she was trafficked. It claims that her father molested her and forced her into porn. Her family refutes all of that. Here's a screenshot when this was just at 25. This is the Hurricane, $24,825. Another pistol, 2 pistols, pistol in the pants. This was when it was at $137,000. When's this screenshot from? This is from 8/31/2022. Is $137,000. So 2 years ago. Well, over a year ago. They always attach my hip. I smile because haters can't break me. The infiltrators can't infiltrate me. The liars can't lie to me. Gun on the hip, and that's it for those photos. Let's go back. We're going to go through all of it so I can show you what's here. And if you need it, you know where to find it. From the Harbor Justice Center. The Orange County District Attorney charged that in Orange County, California, the law was violated as follows. Count 1, on or about December 30th, 2003, in violation of Section 484, 488 of the Penal Code. Petty theft and misdemeanor. Stacey Dawn Williams, her old name, did willfully and unlawfully steal, take, carry, lead, and drive away the personal property of Alan Watkins, not her husband. On or about January 12, 2004, in violation of Section 484, 488 of the Penal Code. Petty theft and misdemeanor. Stacey Dawn Williams did willfully and unlawfully steal, take, carry, lead, and drive away the personal property of Ranjit Singh. So 2 different people. 2 different people that she fucking stole from, right? Petty theft. To the next one. Yeah, Texas is cheaper. I'm sure she paid for that house with GoFundMe money or Give Send Go. The Orange County District Attorney charges that in Orange County, California, the law was violated as follows. On or about March 15, 2007, in violation of Section 459, 460 of the Penal Code, second-degree commercial burglary, a felony, Madyson Ray Marquette did unlawfully enter Eagle Community Credit Union, a commercial building, with the intent to commit larceny. A felony theft did unlawfully take money and the personal property of Eagle Credit Union, which had the value exceeding $400. I declare under penalty of perjury. There you go. The people request the defendant counsel, penal code. Now, the Indiana Lumbermen's Mutual Insurance Company and Indiana Corporation hereby take things. The above named defendant will appear above named court. Oh, it was an insurance fraud. It looks like. Defendant a bail of the sum of $50,000. William Stacy Don. Indiana Lumbermen's Mutual Insurance Company. Known by all men present that the Indiana Lumbermen's Mutual Insurance Company, a corporation authorized existing under the laws of the state of Indiana, constitute and appoint the below named its true and lawful attorney, if in fact for it to be. So that's the statement of their attorney. There you go. Hereby pursuant to legal code. Heritage Insurance Company, another insurance company. Oh, they got bonds on top of her through these insurance companies. Okay, never mind. Later to verify the restitution payments made to you on behalf of Shannon Forsyth to our company, Eagle Community Credit Union. Our Lake Forest office has received official bank check in the amount of $3,834.22 drawn against Bank of America check from Shannon Forsyth, 9/18/2008. On your behalf, the dollar amount represents all monies owed on your deposit account with us, account 151812. So she owed, well, I don't know how much restitution was added. Once the check is cleared, Eagle Community Credit Union is owed no further money except for possible related attorney fees. It will not pursue further litigation against you on funds owed from this account. If any third-party attorney fees are deemed outstanding, you would still be held liable for these payments of these fees. Immediately following the arraignment in Superior Court, the defendant charged with a felony arraignment of the defendant in municipal court. Judge sitting in Superior Court judge. The court shall require the defendant to provide a thumb fingerprint. Employed as investigative assistant for the County of Orange, California, and has been so employed. The pursuant employment has been assigned to investigate allegations of Madyson Marquette did violate CPC 487 grand theft. Pursuant to the assignment, your affiant has contacted witness, obtained their statements, and received reports. The statements, the minutes from the courtroom, or from everything, I guess. Felony charge, declaration affidavit. In support of arrest, police arrest warrant filed, felony warrant arrested, warrant for arrest signed by Craigie Robinson, bail set at $25,000, warrant faxed to Central Warrant Repository. This is just all the stuff that happened through the court. Defendant ordered to return. Defendant waived statutory time for preliminary hearing. Court orders bail set. Fingerprint is received. Bench warrant signed by and issued for defendant. Bail set at 50, so she jumped bail on. Yeah, okay. Defendant not present in court. People represented by Chris Kralik, Deputy District Attorney. Defendant not present in court, represented by Robert K. Weinberg, Retained Attorney. Court orders bail bond forfeited in open court. Bail forfeited in open court, awaiting recipient of bond cash bail. Robert K. Weinberg relieved as counsel of record. So he left because she jumped her bail. Bench warrant ordered issued. Defendant bail set at $50,000 of mandatory appearance. Bench warrant signed. Notice of forfeiture of bail bond mailed. Forfeiture due date. Request for felony bond forfeiture warranted to be entered. So she jumped bail on it as well. Jesus Christ. Another warrant issued. Defendant present. Defendant advised the legal constitutional right. Defendant states true name and date of birth. Warrant issued on 2/21. Ordered recalled for defendant. More minutes. Present. Bail seems sufficient. Preliminary hearings. Hearing set. And I think it's just going to end with minutes. There you go. Case closed. All right, let's go back and see what the other ones are. That was the second one. So you can see he's gathered basically all of the evidence. Count 1 in violation of section penal code, a felony with the intent to defraud, did willfully and unlawfully make, draw, utter, and deliver to Madyson Marquette, and that's marked out. A check, draft, or order for the payment of money in the sum of $700. Number 1038, draw upon Orange County's credit union, knowing that at the time of making the drawing, uttering, and delivering that the defendant had insufficient funds in and credit with the bank for the payment of the check and draft all other checks, drafts, and orders upon the funds, them outstanding in full upon his presentation. On or about November 2nd, 2007, in violation of sections of the Penal Code, second-degree commercial burglary, a felony, Madyson Ray Marquette did unlawfully enter a U.S. bank, a commercial building, with the intent to commit larceny. Violation of section, a felony, she did with the intent to defraud, willfully, unlawfully make, draw, utter, and deliver to a check and a draft, the payment of money into $2,000. So she's $700, then $2,000. So that's $2,700. Did unlawfully enter a U.S. bank, commercial building with the intent to commit larceny. On or about November 5, 2007, in violation of section 467A of the Penal Code, and non-sufficient fund check, felony, Madyson Ray, with the intent, did willfully, unlawfully make, draw, utter, deliver to a check in the draft and order of the payment of the sum of $3,500. So it's like she tried it out at $700. Then she's like, oh, well, I could probably do $2,000. Then she did $3,500. Now, again, according to her, her husband just cut off her checking account. She had no idea. But here she is. She keeps fucking doing it over and over and over again. There's some of the evidence submitted from the bank. Signature documents, deposit slips, receipts. Jesus Christ, Madyson. Anyways, you guys can see he's got all the evidence. He's got all the receipts. Everything's here. She doesn't show anything. She doesn't show any evidence. She doesn't do anything at all. But she claimed these things. But she's been a career crook and criminal trying to finance her lifestyle since way before she got into her fake child rescue. Let me check these one more time. We'll move on. I don't want to bore you to death with just documents. He's got all the documents. If you go to this website, it's MadysonMarquette.net, and then you click on receipts at the top. MadysonMarquette.net, and then you click on receipts. See if I can get back there. Oh, here it is. You click on receipts at the top. There's also a forum there that's not very active. There is media, Rumble, contact information if you need to talk to them, if you've been scammed by them. But that brings us to today. Madyson Marquette, even though she's not as flashy and doesn't get as much attention because she doesn't do these big videos and big predictions, so she doesn't get as much attention from most people, she's probably one of the most disgusting grifters there are, right? She claims she's rescuing kids. She claims that she's been pimped out to Joe Biden, to Tom Hanks, to Will Smith. She claims all these things, and she's stealing money while claiming to help kids. Okay? Now that, I already knew about her. We've already exposed a lot of this. There's Telegram groups that have my video in it, M's video, different videos about her being exposed, Madyson Marquette exposed and stuff on Telegram. But that brings us to now. And also to this picture. I'm 99.999% sure all these pictures are the same guy. I understand this one has a crazy amount of filter on it. That's why his hair looks like it's smeared on instead of actual hair. But that's the same guy as that guy, and that guy's the same guy as that guy. And then this picture that's blocked by chat is just him young. Now, why is this picture important? Well, recently, I'm fixing to show you Madyson Marquette's Telegram. Don't tell her I'm in there, guys. But recently, Madyson Marquette has been on a kind of rant. Like she's been going fucking crazy. So let's pull up her her Telegram account, and I'll put it on the screen. She's been going pretty wild over here on Telegram. And she has a new mission. Oh, again, there you go. Comments turned off for the night. Sleep tight. Don't let the politicians hang you by the doorknob at night. Stay safe out there. The politicians are on the loose. Again, she posts, please help take care of these children. This provides housing, therapy, medical, and dental care. Please check the link and donate. All proceeds go to protecting and housing the children rescued from human trafficking. We are barely staying above water at this point in time. Anything helps. I know she's using this to fund her life. I'm sure it's slowed down some because when you first put out a link like this, everybody runs to donate. So she's trying to, we're barely staying above water. Well, you mean your rents? You're not helping any fucking kids. So what the fuck are you doing with it? What are you doing with this money, Madyson Marquette? She's on here begging for money. By the way, while we're talking about begging for money, if you want to contribute to the show, you can do that at coldbeer.fund, coldbeer.fund. Click one of the links on the left-hand side. That's what keeps the show running. It keeps me going doing this investigation and research. I literally just finished the research for this video before I started. Based kind of on some stuff I'd already seen and a tip from Becky. Thank you, Becky, for helping me out and sending me in the right direction. So this is her Telegram page. And from her Telegram page, if we scroll up, we're going to look at this little mission she's been on. And she's been super concerned. So here's a post. It says, we can now call the prison, McConnell Unit, Belleville, Texas. And she gives the number. It says, ask for the family liaison, Sandra McGuire, and ask her why she refuses to help families, hangs up on them, why they ask questions, and refuses to give her first name. Let's tell her we know she's hiding something. Let's tell her we now know her name is Sandra McGuire. Then email the warden below and CC the rest. And then it gives you, Mr. Ammett, why is it that your family liaison employees refuse to give their first name? We are the public and concerned. It was weird. She's attacking a prison. We, the public, are concerned something nefarious is going on in your prison. Why is it that an inmate whose completed classification does not have a tablet, yet the company you contract with is taking the family's money? We are aware this inmate is innocent and have taken a vested interest in this case. We, the public, are petitioning the House of Representatives and the Senate to immediately fire your incompetent employees who are public servants yet hiding who they are. Our taxpayers pay your salary. Our tax dollars pay your salaries. We, the public, are aware that your prison, its employees, are under investigation from the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. We, the public, intend to expose the cracks in your prison and the hostile employees you have working for you that pretend to be a family liaison coordinator but have no clue what she's doing and becomes extremely aggressive with the families of your inmates. Please provide remedy and replace your family liaison with someone who actually knows what they are doing and doesn't become hostile anytime someone asks a question. Signed, the concerned public. Now, it's not just this one post. This is a post about, she's been melting down on this. She posts a bunch of names here that I guess are fucking decent. It says, you know, I haven't really called out a lot of politicians that participate in human trafficking. Let's rock the boat. She just names a bunch of random politicians. If anyone needs help with their credit or is being sued by a credit company, this guy's the best. Follow him on Facebook. This is a guy that tells you that none of your debts are valid because you're a sovereign citizen. Here we go again. Here's an email you can send to the public servants. You are the public servants. You serve employees. We buy your houses. We buy your cars. We buy your whatever. Public servants. This says another prison to protest. Inmate Casey Wood. Why are we doing prisons? Why are we doing... This seems weird. What about this one? We can now call the prison. McConnell Unit, Belleville, Texas. Same message. She's posted it fucking 15 times today. Please help protest this prison. Ask for the warden's office and ask for Adrian Eminence. Please tell him we are concerned they are running an organ harvesting ring. That's weird. Also ask him why his public servants and family liaison will not give out the first name. What are they hiding? Ask for the warden's office. Ask them why they refuse to update the inmates' records of family who have sent legal paperwork so they can get a video visit. Be prepared. This warden's secretaries are hostile and mean. They tell the public we don't have the right to know who they are, when in reality it's our right and duty to know who they are. You can email the warden as well. Tell him the public is watching. That's weird. Grand Rising, cheers to all your warriors. Don't let the haters and naysayers stop you from the mission and calling God has on your life. The biggest critics are the ones who don't understand the calling God has on your life. Don't stop. Keep going. But you are not like that. You are chosen people. You are royal priests, a holy nation, God's very own possession. As a result, you can show others the goodness of God, for he called you out of the darkness into his wonderful light. 1 Peter 2:9. Here's the one I was talking about earlier. It says, tear up the stage, see the bodies, see the tunnels and the dumbs. Every second these people pretend to worship a child, a man, and a woman are being raped. So every second that they pretend to worship, one child, one man, and one woman are raped every second. And killed for the satanic ritual T.D. Jakes and his flock called church. It's underneath the stage every minute. Want to make everything electric? You start with a border fence. Supreme Court's a joke. If you want to send emails to the heads of prison, please do. But let's start protesting the prison he's in as well. Call this. Ask for the warden's office. Ask them to refuse to update the inmate's records of family who have sent legal paperwork so he can get a video visit. Be prepared. The warden's secretaries. Again, over and over again, this prison. But there was one very interesting post she made about the prison. And that's this one here. Now, she's been doing this for months. Mark is in her group and sends me, like, why is she melting down about this prison? Why is she melting down about this prison? Why is she melting down about this prison? This one was pretty interesting because it starts out with subject line. Inmate number 0247-6095. Then it tags 5 email addresses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it says, Mr. Collier, Mr. Mendoza, we the public are concerned what is happening in your prisons. You have an inmate who's innocent. Exculpatory evidence proving innocence was withheld in his case. And now the prisons are violating his 8th Amendment rights over and over and over again. It started in Bexar County Jail. We protested the treatment and the jail immediately moved him. He was transferred to Garza West Prison. We immediately started protesting his treatment and they immediately moved him. As soon as the protest started, now he's at the McConnell unit and the warden refuses to call the family and is hiding behind his aggressive secretaries. Your warden in Garza West Prison, Joe Tovar, tells his employees not to tell the public who he is. Why isn't his face and name updated on Garza West Prison website if he's in the prison on the up and up?
Like by Sagift1 just gifted 10 subs.
Thank you for the gifted sub. 10 gifted subs. Thank you very much. If you want to support the show, you can do it at coldbeer.fun. Thank you very much for that. Why isn't his face and name updated on the Garza West Prison website? He's running the prison on the up and up. Joe Tovar is a public servant. With recent bodies turning up on inmates' families' doorsteps with missing organs all across the United States, a weird claim, including Texas, we the public are quite concerned. Are the prisoners and TDCJ running an organ harvesting ring? We all have multiple friends and followers on social media. I'm sure the rest of the public and our friends on social media would like to hear about what's going on in these prisons and it's happening to these inmates. This is torture of another living human being. We, the public, have taken an interest in this case and are curious why public servants are hiding who they are. If nothing nefarious is going on in your prison system, then why deny a man the ability to speak to his family via phone? And why are the wardens and employees hiding who they are? Why do the employees in the inmate records named Odessa Harris, located at Garza West Prison, have over 16 UCC liens filed on them? Is it because she refuses to update the inmates' family members, including wives and immediate families, so the inmates can't have video visits? Why does Warden Adrian Eminence refuse to talk to the families in prison? Why does Warden Adrian Eminence secretaries hang up on families and become extremely hostile and aggressive if they have nothing to hide? Why are the prisoners living in unsanitary conditions and rats running around? The public takes an interest when you have an innocent man in your prisons being tortured, denied family video visits, and his 8th Amendment rights are being violated over and over again. The last time we checked, This Is America and have rogue employees who are public servants that believe they are above the law will not fly any longer. Each and every one of us will file a criminal complaint and file civil suits against each of these public servants if their personal capacity, if they continue to deny the innocent inmate his 8th Amendment rights and continue to refuse to update his file with the correct family attached so he can receive video visits and deny. This is very interesting. She really needs this family thing updated and deny his right to have phone calls to family. The prison system for far too long has gotten away with this horrendous treatment of inmates. Please do the right thing here and advocate for this innocent inmate, as we are concerned he will be murdered and shown up on the doorstep of his family with missing organs attached. Please note, the public is now watching and waiting to see how you will proceed in protecting the inmate and the rest of the inmates in your prison's 8th Amendment rights. Public servants do not get to hide behind a wall in order to torture other living beings. Now that you're made aware of this problem, you are personally liable as a public servant put in place that is the head of the TDCJ. As you know, across America, the Department of Justice is investigating prisons and their unlawful torture of men and women that are housed in these prisons. Now, this is all written by her, every bit of it. Let me grab one more thing. Here's the last one I want to read, and then we'll dive into this. It says, if y'all can help me protest, call Garza West Prison and ask why they are locking down inmates without access to commissary, without access to calling family, and violating inmates' 8th Amendment rights. Here's the number. Ask for Warden Joe Tovar. Personally, the prison is trying to keep who the warden is secret because he has multiple lawsuits for mistreatment of prisoners. He doesn't. Look at their website. They have a different warden named. Why are they hiding? Because he just became warden. They then, after you call the warden, call and ask for inmate records and ask for Miss Harris and ask her why they're denying him video visits with his family. She seems very vested in this inmate, does she not? Very, very vested. And start telling them that the public is watching and violating a human's life is against the Constitution. Tell them denying prisoners access to a phone, locking them down for days on end, and denying them their right to commissary, and denying family visits is torture. Please help me protest. Please help me protect this man's life. A man's life is at stake. This is the man that was in Bexar County Jail who had a hit on him. Why do you have a hit on him? That's weird. Now he's in prison with a hit on him. Another hit. Everywhere he goes, he's got a hit on him. Please help protect him and keep him alive. *67 and dialing number blocks your number. Why do you need to block your number? Please start calling. What type of person would go into prison or jail or any type of other lockup and then immediately have a hit on them? What type of person would you think that would be? She goes on to expand about this. Hold on just a second. She goes on to expand about this prisoner and says, Garza West Prison is denying an inmate as 8th Amendment rights and torturing inmates. The public has taken an interest in this case against inmate 0247-6095 as exculpatory evidence was withheld. The supposed victim is extorting men for money, and when they don't pay, she has her daughter falsely accuse these men. That's weird. What's her daughter accusing these men of? Who are you protesting for? And what did they do to somebody's daughter? So we grab that inmate number and we go to the Texas Department of Justice website and type in the inmate number, 0247-6095. That comes back to a man named Mark Anthony Masili. Mark Anthony Masili, M-A-S-C-I-L-L-I. M-A-S-C-I-L-L-I. He's 32. He's on a life sentence? A life sentence for what? McConnell facility, life sentence. Parole eligibility date is in 2053. Inmate visitation eligible, yes. Information provided is up to date once daily during the weeks and multiple times for the day. Because this information is subject to change, family members and friends are encouraged to call the unit prior to traveling to visit. Special information, no release date, no release type, no release location. Why? Because he's got 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault against a child. This is the person that she's protesting for. A person with 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault on a child. Wait a second. Is this the same woman that's rescuing kids? She's the same woman that's housing and getting trauma treatment and therapy and haircuts and toothbrushes and houses for kids? Seems kind of weird. No. So why is she so vested in this man's life? Hard to say. Real hard to say. Let's see what he did. Maybe he's innocent.
Prime time on TBD. Just got
To wait on the ad.
and nothing is off limits. Game on! Catch Whose Line Is It Anyway? Followed by Key and Peele. Weeknights starting at 7, 6 Central on TBD.
At 6, a man's in jail here tonight accused of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl a number of times since...
A fucking 13-year-old. Multiple times. A 13-year-old, Madyson. A 13-year-old. And you're having your audience protest against his treatment. A 13-year-old.
Girl a number of times since last Sunday. Tonight, News 4 San Antonio's Emily Bachman reports that arrest. It highlights experts' worst fears during this pandemic. Emily?
Randy, they told us from the get-go the pandemic would make it very hard for kids in bad situations to get help. But in this case, the girl made an outcry. Someone listened, and it led to an eye-opening arrest.
28-year-old Mark Masili is accused of sexually assaulting his...
Oh, shit. We've seen that picture before, haven't we? That looks like almost like an image we've seen before, doesn't it? That guy looks like somebody maybe we had on the first of the show. That's a weird picture.
Friend's 13-year-old daughter.
Opening arrest.
28-year-old Mark Masili is accused of sexually assaulting his friend's 13-year-old daughter 3 times in the past week. The girl told investigators it started when he spent the night in their home. As this case makes its way through the justice system,
we're in a situation where perpetrators of these crimes, this is where they thrive.
We're getting perspective from Randy McGibney. He's with Child Safe, a group that works with children who make outcries of sexual abuse. Important work that's moving forward through this pandemic.
This is just the perfect storm for somebody who's sexually assaulting a child because they have continued access to that child, and that child doesn't have access or an outlet to tell somebody what's happening to them.
He says hotline.
Yeah, if you say something against terms of service, it'll get removed. Even if you're mad and this guy is a pedo, you can't put it in chat.
Calls are way down all over Texas.
Please put away the materials.
And it's likely because educators, people who by law...
Now, this was back during COVID, and the teachers weren't seeing the kids as often. Teachers a lot of times see the signs of abuse and start investigations. Even if they don't have proof or whatever, they might say something or ask something the right way and have somebody else look into it.
Law must report signs of abuse. Haven't laid eyes on kids since...
They're actually required by law to do it if they think there's abuse going on.
And probably won't until late August. Meantime, the kids who are coming through Child Safe stores are speaking with investigators through new social distancing guidelines.
We're putting children in one room, and we're putting forensic interviewers in another room, and we're interviewing children through a telehealth session there. And the reason why we have to do that is because we have to maintain the integrity of the forensic interview. What we don't want to do is have children being interviewed from their home and then have an alleged perpetrator who has access
coaching them through it.
Is impacting the interview in some way.
Here's the number, the Texas Abuse Hotline.
A man is behind bars accused of sexually assaulting his friend's 13-year-old daughter multiple times since last Sunday. The girl told investigators it started when 28-year-old Mark Masili spent the night in their home. In this case, the girl made an outcry and someone listened and led to eye-opening arrest. Another news story. A San Antonio man was arrested Sunday after a 13-year-old girl told Bexar County Sheriff deputies he sexually assaulted her 3 times over the span of a week. Mark Anthony Masili, 28, was arrested on suspicion of aggravated sexual assault of a child, jail records showed. On Sunday, the girl reported Masili to deputies, according to the arrest affidavit. Masili is a friend of the victim's mother, according to the affidavit. The first incident occurred on April 19th when Masili stayed over and after the mother had went to bed. After the second incident occurred days later at Masili's home, the child told investigators that Masili took her to Target and bought her a Plan B pill, according to the affidavit. The third incident occurred 2 days after that when the child went to Masili's house to pick up a gaming console, according to the affidavit. Masili's bail was set at $75,000, jail records show. Now, I'm not saying he's accused. I'm saying he's a convicted fucking pedophile. He's a convicted fucking pedophile. And she has mobilized his audience, her audience, to protest his treatment in jail without saying he's a convicted fucking pedophile. The people she's supposed to be fighting against, right? The people she's supposed to be taking care of, the people she's supplying with housing and rescuing and all that shit. Now, why would she be so vested? Why would she be so vested in this guy's life? Why? Why would that be a thing? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem like this is something that she should do, right? It seems like she's over here fighting it. Why would she be fighting it? Why would she be this hardcore? Why would she be dragging everybody into this? Let me tell you what she posted on December 1st. For the ones asking, yes, I did get married. Married? Is that why you're wanting to update the family roster for this guy? Yes, I did get married. We filed a declaration of marriage because we don't want the government to be a part of our union. We really didn't tell anyone until I posted about it. We have not had an actual wedding yet. Yes, I know. I make a lot of my life public, but a lot I like to keep private, especially when it comes to my family and loved ones. Hence why any media interviews, I never talk about my family. I was getting a lot of calls and messages through socials, so I thought I would clarify that, yes, I'm married and my kids and I love him so much. That's all. Have a great weekend. Well, that's weird. That's weird as fuck. So this guy got arrested, and he's also this guy, and he just recently got married and announced it on December 1st. Wonder where those other pictures came from, Madyson. Oh, your Instagram with the love of your life. It says, love of my life, fight like hell for the ones you love. It'll be worth it in the end. God has a purpose for your pain, a reason for your struggles, and a reward for your faithfulness. Did you marry a fucking pedo before he was fucking sentenced to life in prison? Let me tell you, how hard is it to get life in fucking prison? Life in fucking prison. He didn't murder somebody. He didn't stab a bunch of people. He didn't kill a cop. Life in prison. You married a fucking pedo before he went to prison? I'm just judging by your fucking pictures, your fucking mission to get your family roster updated so you can have a video chat with him on his tablet. I used your inmate number and your outrage on Telegram to track all this. You married a fucking pedo and you want to be listed as his wife so you can video chat with him in prison? She was smarter before when she was posting him like this. I never thought I would find the love of my life after being single for 8 years. This man has showed me so much love. There were things in the beginning that attempted to destroy us, but we came out even stronger. Were those things a Plan B pill purchased for a 13-year-old? There are things right now attempting to destroy him. I wonder what's attempting to destroy him from 10 weeks ago. By the way, he was sentenced in November, and it was in federal court. And a lot of times when you're sentenced in federal court, when you're sentenced in a state court, you're almost always taken immediately to serve your time. When you're sentenced in federal court, a lot of time you have like a couple weeks or whatever to report. There are things right now attempting to destroy him, but in the end, he and I will walk out of the fire hand in hand, stronger than ever. I will always fight like hell to protect my family and humanity always until we are truly free. Mr. Loverface, I love you to the moon and back, and even more than that. I cover his face because he doesn't have any social media because of my calling in life. I want him to always be protected. This seems kind of strange, right? Seems kind of strange. She married the exact guy that I'm just judging off the inmate number she provided, how upset she is, how she's positioning her righteous anger over here, and the pictures she fucking posted. That's him, motherfucker. That's him. That is him. Unless he's got a fucking identical twin, that's him. It explains why she says they've got a hit on him, that he's not going to survive a life sentence in prison. It explains why she's so upset about it. It explains the inmate number. It explains her Instagram postings. It explains everything. You want to know something else? It wasn't even sprung on her. It wasn't a sudden thing that was sprung on her that she had no idea about. Let me see if I can find the links. Hold on. He was also arrested in 2014 for the same fucking thing. I wish I was making this up. Let me grab it. I already closed. I was looking for it in the window, but I'd already closed it. Let me grab it. Mark Masili, 32 years old, born October 1991, San Antonio, Texas. Got his address, got his relatives. Eleven 2023. Jury, guilty status, notice of appeals, aggravated sexual assault of child. So they are appealing it. Indecent child exposure, 2019. What? So in 2023, aggravated assault of a child. In 2019, date of offense was 2011. Indecency, child exposure. 2011, indecency with child. Indecency with a child. 2011. He's been doing this shit. Oh, we'll walk through stronger. Only the devil can judge me. No, motherfucker, I'll judge you. You married a pedophile, a fucking pedophile, while you're fucking over here raising money, claiming you're taking care of kids. Come at me. Fucking sue me. We'll go and talk all about your money and where it's going to these fucking needy kids that you've kicking down doors and rescuing, right? Kids that you admit to trafficking in your fundraiser. The kids that don't fucking exist. You married a convicted pedophile and then try to get your audience to make the jail, the prison he's in, treat him better? Are you out of your fucking mind? How many of those people that are donating to you know that they're also petitioning a prison warden and all the staffs in the state of Tennessee to get special benefits for the pedophile that you fucking married? Stupid. Just dumb bitch. Dumb bitch. I don't know what else to say. This is horrible. This is horrible. There's her ring. Johnny sent these. Wow, the state does not like when you file a marriage declaration and refuse to get a marriage license. This is also why I saw this earlier. This is why she can't get on listed as family to have family chat, because they didn't want the government involved in her marrying this pedophile, convicted pedophile. they did a declaration and refused to get a license. A marriage license means the state is the head of your marriage. A marriage, this is sovereign citizenship. A marriage declaration means you're married under God and it's just a husband and a wife. Maybe the divorce rate would not be so high if the government wasn't the demonic entity involved. This war has been beyond exhausting, but without this war, I would never have seen who my real friends are. Without this war, I would never have found the love of my life. Without this war, I wouldn't have gotten to know some of you who are so kick-ass. Well, all of you are kick-ass. You all know that. We don't have to agree about politics, Christianity. Some of us just chat and actually hear the other person. Without this war, I wouldn't have known the extent of how enslaved we truly are. Without this war, I wouldn't have had the pleasure of seeing countless innocent children reunite with their families after being ripped from them by trafficking hub CPS. Without this war, I wouldn't have a voice. I wouldn't be able to pass the microphone when someone else needs to be elevated and heard. Do I want this war? No. Do I condone this war? No. Am I thankful for what I have received from this war? Yes. The battle is just beginning. I thought we were close to the end, but we're not even close. If you get a chance throughout the day, remember us warriors and our family, because it can be taxing fighting this battle. They will and are attacking us on every front, but we will not retreat. Those asking, yes, I did get married, and there's the fucking ring. I don't even know how the fuck does she do this? Like, I don't even know what the fuck. Like, she couldn't have picked the worst guy. How does she end up with this fucking guy? While she's literally paying her bills by lying to her followers that she's rescuing children, she's married a guy who made victims out of children multiple times, multiple charges, multiple victims. Madyson Marquette has to be the biggest fucking piece of shit that exists. I don't know what else to say. Tonight was supposed to be a Patreon video. I didn't put it behind Patreon because I think everybody needs to see this. If you have a chance, please share it. Please tweet about it. I didn't put, anything crazy in the beginning or whatever. I didn't get off sidetracked. I didn't do anything. This woman claims to be protecting kids. She's using that money to benefit herself. She bought her house. She pays her bills. She raises her kids. She doesn't fucking work a job. Instead, she grifts off a GoFundMe that's dedicated to helping victims of child sex trafficking. And then on top of that, she married a fucking pedophile, and she's weaponized her audience against the Department of Corrections that are attempting to punish this evil motherfucker. There you go. That's the show for the night. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I wish it could have been a happier ending, but fuck this bitch. I'm out. Have a good night, guys. Share the shit out of this everywhere. Every fucking where.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the fork and balls to call out the people.
If you like the content, you like the show, you want to contribute, go to coldbeer.fund. Please help us keep the show going. It's funded 100% by viewers. Right now, I very rarely take an ad or sponsorship, but if you can help out, coldbeer.f instead of .com, it's .fund, .fund, coldbeer.fund. Maybe I'll start a GoFundMe. A give, send, go.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best.
Report everything you see. Everything you see from Madyson Marquette.
I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit.
It's not about free speech. It's not about allowing the opposite opinion. She's literally fucking helping pedophiles while claiming to fight them.
Worshiping drums, cocking beggars.
Everything. Report it.
Swinging fucking meat hammers like fool in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the bass in them beds, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped them to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? Stop. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously. This is my mom's an alcoholic. Give me a... Oh my God. Damn it. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them beds, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them beds, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you...
Have a good night, guys. Fuck this bitch. I'm out.
Round 3. Down goes Nino. Please say it isn't so. Got him backed up on the ropes, trying to